You wake up, same ceiling, same weight in your body, same faint resistance to the day ahead. But something is different. There's an envelope on your desk, no stamp, no handwriting that you recognise. Inside is a single line. Everything you will ever do has already been decided. Not predicted, decided. You sit there longer than usual, because if that sentence is true, then this moment isn't fragile, it isn't meaningful, it isn't alive, it's just playing out. Now ask yourself, and don't rush this, if you knew your life was already written, what emotion would dominate your days? Relief or quiet despair? Because this isn't abstract philosophy. This question already shapes how you live. Imagine now that author of the letter steps into the room. Not a god, not a villain, something colder. Perfectly intelligent, perfectly informed. This is Laplace's demon. From its perspective, every atom in your body follows physical law. Every neuron fires predictably. Every thought you have is the inevitable result of prior causes. From the demon's view, your choices are just after the fact stories. You were always going to stay instead of leave, hesitate instead of act, choose comfort over growth or growth over comfort. You just didn't know it yet. Now pause and ask yourself honestly, how often do you already talk about your life this way? I'm not wired this way. That's how I was raised. It's not really my fault. I don't have the discipline gene. Laplace's demon doesn't remove effort, it removes responsibility, and that feels good at first. Think about a moment you didn't follow through. The gym membership unused, the message you didn't send, the boundary you didn't hold. Now imagine telling yourself it couldn't have happened any other way. Instant relief, no guilt, no accountability, no friction. But here's the quiet cost. If nothing is truly your fault, then nothing is truly yours either. Your achievements become accidents, your character becomes coincidence, your discipline becomes meaningless. So ask yourself this. If everything is inevitable, why does regret exist? Why does the body tighten when you avoid something important? Why does courage feel earned? Laplace's demon explains motion, but it doesn't explain why effort transforms identity. That's the crack. Now step into a different image. You're standing in a large dark room. There are doors everywhere. Each door leads to a different version of your life. One where you speak honestly, one where you stay silent, one where you try, one where you wait, one where you become who you know you could be, one where you remain familiar to yourself. Here's the question. Before you choose which door is real, the open future thought experiment says none of them are, not yet. They are not facts waiting to be discovered. They are possibilities waiting for commitment. The future doesn't exist like the past. It exists like clay. Now ask yourself, if the future is genuinely open, what have you been postponing that actually depends on you? Now let's go a little deeper, because this is where the real insight lives. What if some things are determined, such as your biology, your upbringing, your temperament, your circumstances, and maybe even the outcomes of each door are constrained? But here's the difference. You still choose which door you walk through. Picture a train system. The track exists, the destinations are real, but the switch, that's yours. You may not control everything, but you control direction. And direction compounded over time becomes destiny. And ask yourself then, who would I be if I chose courage more often? Who would I be if I stopped delaying hard conversations? Who would I be if I acted as if my decisions mattered? This is where freedom lives, not in infinite possibility, but in meaningful selection. But the question is, well, actually, is it choice? Do you get the choice for the door, or is that choice already made deterministically in your mind due to your biology? But people do resist the open future, because if your choices matter, then delay is a choice. Comfort is a choice. Avoidance is authorship. No demon to blame, no destiny to hide behind, just you shaping tomorrow with today's behaviour. That's heavy, but it's also electrifying, because now one conversation can redirect a decade, one habit can reshape identity, one brave act can split timelines. So here's the integration. How could we, or should we, live? Could we live as if some things are given? Many outcomes are actually constrained in some ways, but choice is real and alive. So ask yourself daily, given the reality I'm in, what's the best choice available to me right now? What's the best move on the chessboard, as they say? It's not perfect, it's not guaranteed, but at least chosen. Your call to action for the next 7 days is to act as if the future isn't watching, it's waiting. Say the thing, do the thing, start the thing. Not because it's certain to work, but because choice is the only place meaning can exist. Now, if you feel that determinism is true, and that actually, even if you choose, that's based on your mind and the type of person you are, would always choose that because of confirmation bias, then at least do this. Consume content that changes your opinion and makes you into a better person, because actually that will change your decision making moving forward. The decisions you make today are not the same that you would have made 15 years ago, because you've adapted, you've matured, you've evolved. And that's based on all of the new information that you've gathered. We've talked about this before, Bayes' theory. New information, adjust belief, and act. So you still have that choice. So what are you consuming that will affect your future you and affect the decisions that you make? Is it Laplace's demon to an extent? Or is it the open future? Or is it a combination of both? Because there are some things determined, your genetics, etc. But within that remit, is there a choice? And this is the beautiful argument between the two. So regardless of which way you lie or which way you think, there are ways that you can affect the future. If you like this episode, comment, follow, subscribe, and just a quick shout out to our sponsors. Strong Coffee Company, protein-packed coffee for energy and clarity. Use code VANCRUX1 for 20% off at strongcoffeecompany.com. And then there's More Labs, clinically proven hydration and recovery. Use code VANCRUX1 for 25% off at morelabs.com. And finally, Liquor Gummies, electrolytes and vitamins for recovery and prevention. Use code VANCRUX1 for 20% off at liquor.com. That's liquure.com.